Easter chocolate prices have gone completely crazy this year, but I'm not paying those prices, and if you don't want to either, then stick with me because everything in this basket cost me just $8.97 to make. These homemade Easter treats are much cheaper, taste better, use ingredients you probably already have, and are customizable and fun to make. So let's dive right into it. First up, I am making these marshmallow eggs from scratch. All right, so to make marshmallow eggs, you have to have some kind of a mold or tray to shape them in. I'm just going to use this is a pie plate filled with ordinary plain flour. You will be able to use this flour again, and I'm just going to use a regular egg to make these indents in the flour. So you literally just take the egg and kind of push it in there like that. You kind of want the shape to be as smooth as you can possibly get it. But it's going to be all right. They're homemade. They're going to be a little bit irregularly shaped. So in here, I've already got 1/4 cup of water. And I'm just going to put it on low, and I'm going to measure out 1/2 cup of honey. So in this bowl, you need quite a big bowl because when you whip it, it fluffs up quite a lot more than it looks like it's going to. You need 1.5 tablespoons of gelatin, and we're going to bloom it with 1/4 cup of water. So we're just going to pour 1/4 cup of water in there and whisk it up. Okay, so that's just going to sit for about 2 or 3 minutes. All right, so you're going to see now that this is like really, really solid. Tip it upside down and nothing will happen. So we're going to just mix it up. Now, you don't really want to mess with the honey too much. You kind of just want to let it sit and come up to the simmer. So your honey and sugar mixture are going to foam up and start looking like this. This is a really good sign. Probably you want to boil it for about simmer it for about 2 or 3 more minutes. Don't let it boil crazy. And then I'll show you the next step. All right, so we need to slowly pour our honey mixture into our gelatin mixture with the beaters on high. And then we are going to whip the holy heck out of this mixture for like 5 whole minutes with the beaters as high as they can go. And you want it to sort of be this kind of texture where it leaves a ribbon off your beaters. All right, so I've just swapped over to my phone because I really want to give you an overhead view so you can see what this texture is like. Can you see how that is just forming a ribbon that sits on the surface before it disappears in again? Just for a second and then it's gone. That is what you want. So we're done now, and I'm going to put it in the molds. Now, I am something of an authority on making these Easter treats because my family usually celebrates Easter in springtime. And as you know, I'm in the southern hemisphere, so it is autumn right now. I have real problems with that, doing spring things in autumn time. I want to be making pumpkin soup and lighting fires and getting warm and cozy for winter. So my family celebrates Easter in autumn time, so I often have to make our Easter treats. And again, I just wanted to give you a quick overhead view of what this looks like. So you're just going to pour it in until it sits pretty level, let it drip, and then move on to the next one. Easy as that. So now I'm doing my chocolate molds. These are considerably smaller and take much less marshmallow. All right, all my marshmallows have set up, so now I'm going to show you the next step, which is dipping them in chocolate. I'm just going to show you how easily they pop out of their little flour mold, and then you've just got this beautiful little marshmallow egg. So I'm going to dig all of these out, and then we're just going to dust off the flour before we dip it in the chocolate. All right, these are some more little marshmallow eggs that I made with a chocolate mold. I just made the little chocolate shell and now filled them with marshmallow, and now I am covering with chocolate. They're pretty cute. There's also a little bunny one. There are a lot of faffing around though, so if you don't have a tin, really don't worry about it. And the rest of the marshmallow batter that I had left over went in the square fudge tin, and I am just going to chop those into squares, and you'll get little squares of marshmallow that look just like this. And I'm just going to plunk this in the melted chocolate. So I'm just going to chop those marshmallows into squares and give them a little bit of the same chocolate dipping treatment. After that, I'm going to put a little bit of white chocolate in a piping bag and give everything a bit of a zhuzh up, make it look a little bit special. And this is what one of my little square marshmallows looks like. All right, for our hot cocoa bombs, I have made these chocolate shells. I took the muffin liner and I dipped it in the chocolate so that the pattern, probably can't see, but so that the ridges would be on the inside. What I'm going to do is I've got a pot of hot water here with a plate on top for melting, and I have got my homemade hot cocoa powder. This is 1 cup of milk powder, 1/3 cup of Dutch processed cocoa, 3 big pinches of salt, and 1/4 cup of powdered stevia. You could use sugar as well. And I've got marshmallows. So what we do is we just plonk that there on the hot plate to start melting. Just start melting the edges. Then we put in like 2 teaspoons of hot cocoa powder and a handful of marshmallows. If you have a hot chocolate bomb mold, the perfectly round sphere mold, feel free to use it, but I don't have one and I don't want to buy one because I'm a cheapskate, and I thought you might not have one too. So I thought I'd just show you how I do it. It doesn't look as tidy as if you had the round mold, but I'm happy with it. And then we melt the other side of the chocolate. It's going to sit over there like that. And then we just let it sit together, and then it will melt and it'll be lovely doubly. So I'm going to finish off these. And while I've got you here making hot cocoa bombs, I thought I would just show you these Easter eggs that I usually make. I make these shells. I'm just using regular Pam's chocolate chips for all of these chocolate recipes, by the way. And I do it exactly the same way as for the hot cocoa bombs. I just put that on there and let it melt a little bit. And you can also fill them with things as well. You know how sometimes you get like a Cadbury's and you crack it open, it's got something inside? So for this one, I'm going to fill it with this caramel Dulce de Leche that I had left over from Christmas. You could put marshmallows in here, you could put M&Ms in here, you could put little, like the little Kit Kat or Moro bars if you wanted, or you could just leave them empty as well, that's fine too. Then we melt the other side, and then we stick it together. Oh no! This side is different from this side. And now I'm making these mini cakes. So I've just made a sheet cake and I'm cutting out Easter egg shapes with a biscuit cutter. If you don't have a biscuit cutter, you can draw your shape on a piece of cardboard and cut it out like I'm doing here. Then I am filling it with marshmallow. This is my homemade marshmallows that I've melted down in a double boiler. Then I am going to dip them in chocolate. These cakes were heavily inspired by Lamingtons, but instead of coconut, I'm going to decorate the tops to make them look like Easter eggs. All right, so now I've just got some white chocolate here, and I have dunked my other cake. I'm going to put some in a piping bag, just a really, really small one. And I've got my cake. I should show you this a bit closer. This is my cake that I dipped in dark chocolate, and now I'm just going to do some I don't know, I might do this one more like a traditional sort of Easter egg. So I just did a little pattern detail like that. So for our very last Easter treat that we'll be making, I have made some biscuit dough and we have cut out the shapes. They're frozen at the moment and we're going to bake them. Freezing them is a very important step because it helps them stop from spreading out. And we're going to show you how we decorate them, how we package everything, and how we make everything look pretty. All right, so I just wanted to show you how I package up these eggs. This is the one that I filled with caramel, so it's quite heavy. I just take one sheet of the tissue paper and I cut it in half. You can do any color you want, but I did blue for my son and pink for my daughter, and I just plonk the egg there in the middle, and then I sort of just do the best that I can do. Now we're going to tie it off with a piece of string or ribbon. It looks better with ribbon, but I can't find my ribbon, and it looks like this. Isn't that cute? All right, everyone, so we're just going to finish off the decorations on our Easter treats that we're making. Specifically, right now we're going to do our biscuits. So I'm just setting up the icing station. Now, if you're going to use snap lock bags instead of piping bags, just snip off the tiniest little bit, just the smallest little amount that you possibly can. Otherwise, it's all going to come spewing out.
You didn't take any out.
Now, we are just icing these biscuits. This is something that the kids and I do quite often. It's become a bit of a tradition for us, and we have a lot of fun doing it and making them all look pretty. All right, everyone, we've decorated our bickies. Do you want to show everybody your egg? Your egg. We've got eggs and bunnies.
I got a Pokeball egg.
And gingerbread men and all sorts going on here. All right, now I'm going to show you how we're going to package them. So I buy these little sleevey things from just the $2 shop. I bought a packet of 50 like 2 or 3 years ago, and they have not run out yet. So this is how I package up all the treaty things. So we will just, they're not dry yet, but we'll just take the biscuit and slide it in there so you'll be able to see the little decorations, and then we'll give it to neighbors and friends and things like that. And the same thing with all of these chocolate things. Just for reference, this is not everything I made. I made 3 of these eggs. I made a whole bunch of these marshmallows. We've already eaten a lot of the marshmallows as well, but all of this chocolate was made with 2 packets of Pam's chocolate chips and half a packet of white chocolate chips. So these are the little cakes that have been cut out and filled with marshmallow and then dipped in chocolate and decorated. And all of that will just go in a sleeve like that. And it's got a little adhesive thing. And it'll just fold down and look like that.
Yay!
Are you guys doing silly stuff in my video?
No, I'm just laughing at Tristan.
What are you doing in the background of my video? I hope you see how cheap and easy it can be to make your own homemade Easter treats. I've got more than enough left over to make a whole other basket. I could make 2 baskets out of this very easily, and I will still have plenty of fun homemade Easter treats to package and deliver to my friends and neighbors. I really hope you enjoyed this video, If you learned something and if you enjoyed it, please give me a like and a subscribe and comment down below. It'll really help my channel to grow. I hope you enjoy your Easter with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time.